Ready Player One is a weird one to talk about, but I'm going to try and talk about it from all angles just because there is a lot to say. First and foremost, I'm not going to talk about spoilers until the end. I'll let you know. So if you haven't seen it yet, you're spoiler free here. But it's a tricky movie to talk about because, first and foremost, I read the book and I really like the book. There's some embarrassing aspects to it. I get why some snootier people make fun of the book, but overall, I had a good time with the book. I thought it was fun, and I was pretty enthralled by it. So I kind of went into the movie with certain expectations. It's hard to separate it. So for the most part of the review, I'm gonna try not to bring that up as much as possible. Towards the end, I'll talk about it. But honestly, I like the book better. I didn't think the movie really lived up to it, and it's hard to translate this type of thing to a movie. And I think it turned out the best it could. First of all, because you have Steven Spielberg directing, full transparency. I love almost everything Spielberg has done. I think he's great for a variety of different movies, the different types of movies he makes. But Ready Player One is a very awkward movie. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I had a nice time. Dinner and a movie with my wife, it was fun, but it just didn't really nail it like I thought it would. I don't know what I was expecting. I like the action a lot. Like the big chase scene that they've shown in the trailer is amazing. That's one of the best parts of the movie. I really think the action here is pretty damn incredible, especially considering most of it is just CGI. It really is telling of Spielberg, who can direct such punchy action that is all computer generated. I was very happy about that. The chase scenes especially were kind of awesome, obviously because of the DeLorean, which I don't know if you guys have seen me on Twitter, but one of my life goals is to actually have and own a DeLorean. And I like Back to the Future. It's a great series, but I really just love the look of the car. Like, I'm just into that whole thing. So while it was really cool to see the DeLorean doing its thing, I was also in the back of my mind worrying that it would increase its popularity again, and then the value of these things would skyrocket and I'd never get my hands on one. But that's besides the point. I digress. I'm still saving up for one. I'll probably be saving forever, but the movie definitely has a very distinct look to it that isn't as obnoxious and overdone as you would think, especially considering all the characters and things referenced in the movie. And I've seen a lot of people giving it flack for that. I've seen that being brought up, and yeah, the book did it too, but the movie, the whole fact that there are all these licensed characters and all these things in it didn't bother me as much as it could have. It could have been more egregious. It could have been more, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this? And kind of take you out of it. The movie does almost at points, but mostly it just makes sense because it's character skins. And since it's open to everything, people will have a character skin of Lara Croft Tomb Raider or Freddy Krueger, and all different random stupid things. And it works here. I thought it was kind of cool. I also think the movie did a really good job with its villain. Ben Mendelsohn is just awesome. He was one of the best aspects of Rogue One. He's really one of the better aspects in a lot of movies he's in, and here he definitely is. They give him a lot of time to be evil corporate villain man, and it works really good. You want to punch this guy in the face the entire time. Where it didn't flesh things out, what I really wanted, the main characters, I didn't really get a real good sense of them. Their friendship, I didn't get their real obsession with video games, with James Halliday, with the time period. All that stuff that is there, the movie didn't really bring it across to me as much. As Parzival and Artemis's relationship developed, I didn't really care. As the other characters were introduced, I didn't really care about them much. And that's unfortunate, and that for me, I guess kind of did it. That's what made it feel just kind of like a mindless blockbuster popcorn movie, because I didn't really care about the characters or what was going on, but I did have fun in the scenes. It had really funny moments. It had really exciting moments. I got to acknowledge, it also had some really cringeworthy moments. There's some dialogue in here. There's some lines in here that are so on the nose, so in your face, so blatant, and just corny. Just, oh God, some of it was bad. But I think for every moment that made me cringe, it also had a good surprise or like a really entertaining scene. And now, like I said, the reference stuff didn't really bother me, and like there's all these big ramifications. People are asking all these questions about like nerd culture and is it cringy or does it go too far? I don't like collecting Funko Pops. I don't like going overboard in the nerd stuff. I feel like as soon as it gets too commercialized, I kind of get turned off. Now I say that as someone who has toys on the wall, but they're old toys that I collected. It's different. Is it different? I don't know. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own way of being a geek, being a nerd. So I don't really get mad at people that love seeing their favorite characters, and I don't really get mad at the people that are being snooty about like, oh, they put Gundams in the movie. Like, I don't care. However, I will say I was a little offended. Obviously, this isn't a spoiler, but Iron Giant is in the movie. They showed it in the first trailer. And, you know, there's a scene where he starts getting his ass kicked. and it's a little egregious to the point where I was like, we don't have to do this. Like, not like I'm being upset to see the Iron Giant get killed, but I just like, can you stop shooting the Iron Giant with rocket launchers? It's just like offending my senses. I don't know. And it's funny, I say the movie is shallow, and ultimately I say, like, I wanted more. Even though it was a long movie, it was a very long movie, I just feel like there are some parts of it I'm just gonna forget, like some parts that just didn't really touch upon what I wanted to touch upon. Honestly, spend more time with Wade, spend more time with Artemis. I wanted more of that, you know? From the beginning, I had also said, like, when I read the book, I'm like, man, I like this a lot, but I don't know how this could translate to a movie. And then they announced the movie, and I was like, I don't know how they're gonna translate this to a movie. And I try to not just go in with my assumptions, but to me, I was like, yeah, I definitely think this was better articulated and better suited, this whole concept, in a book, because it's a concept that is designed to let your imagination run wild. If you do like nerding out about this shit, yeah, of course, Ernest Cline, the author, spends pages detailing nerdy shit that's kind of pointless. Still, within that, it still lets your mind kind of go wild in terms of imagining these geeky, nerdy things that you love. And I don't think it translated well to a movie. That's it. But I don't think it was terrible. It was fine. I don't know. Just shallow and a little forgettable, but good action and a good villain. And again, if you're not somebody that reads books, I guess it's an okay interpretation of the story that I did enjoy. So again, if I can reiterate it, it's just a fun, dumb, good time. Now, I can't really go further without comparing it to the book, so buckle up for that, and also go into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, go check it out. Now I'm going to talk complete spoilers. So my biggest issue, I think, what I got out of the book, it didn't feel as deep as the book. And the book wasn't really that deep. The movie seemed really, really shallow. That's the only way I can say it, is that none of the, like I said, the characters, some of that emotional payoff, I didn't get it. And honestly, I think it's because partially, in some points, it really missed the point of the book. There was a lot of focus on the book between Halliday and Og that was left out. But mainly, what I took away from the book was that everyone is in the Oasis, or a lot of people are in the Oasis because they're sad. And there wasn't really much of that. But I didn't really feel the emphasis, especially between the main characters, between Artemis and Parzival, and the reason they're there. Also H, that whole reveal was very quick and didn't really... It blew me away in the book when I read some of those characters when they finally met up in person, in reality. Was incredible. Like, I'm getting chills right now talking about it because I remember how I felt. The movie doesn't really do it as well. I'd like to hear from you guys. Maybe if you did see the movie, I want to know if you really love that stuff and you didn't read the book. I definitely want to know. For me, I think it just didn't really get across the reasoning why some of these people were in the Oasis and the importance of the Oasis. And what the big deal was. The movie really just kind of was like, hey, sometimes you should turn off the game and go outside, right? Like, that was really the message overall, and I don't know, it didn't really sell me. On a positive note, though, spoiler-wise, can we talk about the Shining scene? Holy shit. Oh my god. I have to watch a making of how they did this. I don't know if they rendered it. How they did the Overlook Hotel. I don't know how they did it. Room 237, all of that. Like, it was great. It was such a good scene. It kind of felt like Kingdom Hearts, where it took these characters and put them in a different thing. But it was cool. I really thought that was like amazing, and it was funny to throw the characters in that situation. I thought that was really creative. I was just into it. I want more of that, honestly. I want a Ready Player One 2. Where they just go into random scenes from video games and movies. I honestly really want to see it again, just because there were so many characters on screen at once and so many things that it was really hard to see it all. I saw Lara Croft at one point, and RoboCop, and I saw Marvin the Martian. That was cool. The Jurassic Park T-Rex was there. Arkham Knight, they showed Arkham Knight like 3 times. But that's it, really. Like I keep saying, it was a good time. It was shallow. I think we can make whole other videos. There's all these topics about like nostalgia and references and movies and all that stuff. But really, this is it. That's all I really have to say. Regardless, let's talk about this stuff. I'll be down in the comments hanging out with you guys. You can also, as always, hit me up on social media and stuff, except maybe not Facebook, because Facebook is apparently very bad. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm Jake Baldino. You can subscribe because video games.